Frankly, it is incredibly hard to believe that we're already at the end of the year. We are only a few weeks out from New Year's Eve, so frankly, the year's gone by really fast, and we've seen so many amazing releases, and so many things are beginning to trickle out for leaks, rumors, and just general reveals for a bunch of new devices coming out later and earlier next year. And I thought I'd take this time to really think about what I predict might happen next year when it comes to PC handhelds. Because it is an incredibly exciting time for PC handhelds. With the new release of AMD's next generation processors with the HX 370 and 360 bringing some of the most powerful integrated graphics we have ever seen to a mobile platform, it is genuinely one of the most interesting times in PC handhelds. There's so many new technologies coming and that are already here that are revolutionizing portable gaming. And I thought I'd take this time to really think what I hope happens next year. It's just some of my predictions. Starting off with, I hope we hear some news about Steam Deck 2. Valve originally stated a couple years ago when the Steam Deck first released, there will be no discussion of a Steam Deck 2 till at least 2025. And that year is quickly approaching. And I'm hoping that we start hearing murmurs or discussion about a potential Steam Deck successor. Not just a revision with an OLED screen, not just one that's in white now, a brand new Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is always one of the most popular and most recommended PC handhelds out there for a myriad of reasons that we've established in many of videos this year. And I think for all those reasons we've discussed in the past, value, SteamOS being just amazing for a lot of people, and simplifying the PC gaming experience at its core. And I think that is so unique in the PC handheld space. And with the recent information that some devices from Lenovo and even the ROG Ally receiving SteamOS support, is gonna be a very interesting time to see what happens next year. And having SteamOS come to all these other devices might finally get Valve to the kick in the pants it needs to finally start working on the Steam Deck 2. I'm not saying a full release is happening, but I'm saying we might start hearing about it more often. Real leaks, something substantial. The next one, and this is going to be fairly obvious, the ROG Ally 2. The ROG Ally X is amazing, and it isn't even all that old, only being maybe a handful of months old at this point. But a true successor to the ROG Ally would hopefully mean a new screen, maybe OLED, or maybe even a higher refresh rate, or maybe a higher resolution. Could be even physically larger. I love the display on the ROG Ally, but it kind of is its weakest point in comparison to a bunch of the other PC handhelds out there. The Legion Go has its amazingly large screen with incredible brightness in deep color saturation, while on top of that being just a genuinely really high resolution and high refresh rate display, perfect for gaming and content consumption. And the Zotac Zone is OLED, one of the few OLED PC handhelds out there. And from what that looks like, the Legion Go 2 will be making that switch to OLED as well. So hopefully something substantial of an upgrade for the ROG Ally is coming at some point next year, because as it stands, once these next generation handhelds start coming out, the original ROG Ally, less so for the Ally X, are going to start showing its age at that point. The next thing I'm hoping / predicting for next year is some newcomers to the PC handheld space. And this might be a hot take or just very odd choices, but I want to see Dell Alienware make a handheld and HP Omen make a handheld. Both those companies have their own gaming lines. Dell has Alienware, HP has Omen. And both those segments of their companies have incredible designs. Alienware has always been one of my favorite looking devices, while not necessarily being the best when it comes to either cooling, sound, just general laptopness. Sometimes they sort of miss the mark. Omen also fluctuates from being amazing to being pretty bad depending on which one you're buying. But overall, they have a very iconic design. And I feel like that's what's sort of missing in the PC handheld space is iconic design. Outside of the major players that were here before the major companies came in, people like Iron Neo and GPD, but generally speaking, all these PC handhelds tend to look fairly similar, Legion Go excluded. It's just very similar looking devices, and I feel like Alienware specifically might have some of the best industrial design in some of their laptops I've ever seen, and it's very beautiful devices. So seeing that bring that form factor, that design to a PC handheld might honestly be something amazing. Another company that I would like to see make the jump, which probably would never happen, but they might release a kit to do so, is Framework. If you're not familiar with Framework, they are a PC manufacturing, mostly make laptops, and their job, or what their goal is essentially, is to make more repairable and sustainable laptops. And you can buy and sell components of the laptops fairly easily. You can even go on their website now and buy just the motherboard with all of its components soldered on, except RAM or storage or anything like that, but you're gonna have the CPU pre-installed, and they do AMD units. And some people are taking those AMD motherboards, which have the same CPU and graphics chips on them as the ROG Ally and many other PC handhelds, and turning them into their own customized PC handhelds, because it's essentially a laptop in most of these cases. Though customized to fit a more PC handheld form factor, it is essentially just a laptop with controllers slapped on it. So people see that and think they can make their own thanks to Framework. And I would love to see Framework some sort of legitimize this concept, this design, with their own PC handheld, utilizing the same motherboard found in their Framework laptop. This is a super far out idea, very unlikely to happen, but the community support is there that they can make some sort of, just even if it's just 3D models or CAD files that people can 3D print themselves and build it themselves. They don't need to necessarily release a product, just release the sort of the framework, the overall just concept for the device in a legitimate way, so they can support that section of the community. One of my last predictions for PC handheld industry, just predictions generally for next year, I hope Microsoft finally releases some sort of desktop gaming mode for PC handhelds, because the biggest problem with PC handhelds that run Windows is Windows itself being just a bore to deal with. It's not necessarily a huge issue. It's probably one of the biggest issues some consumers have when deciding whether or not to buy these things. It's just overall, Windows is not optimized for that sort of a play style. And no matter how many software tools or to just control things you can do with the device itself or in Windows, it's never going to be as simple as the Steam Deck is going to be. Things will break, things will not work, and you're going to have to eventually connect a mouse or a keyboard to this to do things quickly and just overall more comfortably than you could with the controls on the sides of the display. And having a custom version of Windows available for these PC handhelds alone would be fantastic, especially if you have like a media center PC and you don't really want to have a controller. That could be an excellent other use case for like a custom gaming specific version of Windows. I have a media center PC, and I have one of those little keyboard and trackpad things you buy off of Amazon for 20 bucks. But if I didn't have to have that, that would be fantastic. If I could do everything from my Xbox controller, that'd be the dream. Other than that, I would love to hear what you guys predict will happen in 2025 for the PC handheld industry, because it's an exciting time with so much change and rapid development. I would love to hear what you guys think down below. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All this other social media garbage down below. And last but not least, have a wonderful day.